To a lot of questions and speculation. We're coming down to the season where those questions and speculation will be answered about our lineup. We have a roster of 32 or whatever it is, and then all summer and fall, people then wondering what our lineup's going to look like. And so we're there. We're here. Thursday is tomorrow, and 1 week from tomorrow we start. So, you can throw a lot of names in 10 weight classes. And we have those rules where Angelo Ferrari is a veteran because of the rules. So we're going to use freshmen. And so on and so forth. And then the other part of it is the schedule. The schedule, I would like someone to do a study on who has the toughest schedule, RPI, whatever the metrics are. Use some NFL or Major League Baseball metric and figure it out, because every year we do, and then this year we're going to the national duels. And so I'm not tooting our own horn, because we do have the toughest schedule every year. But what I am saying is that there's been a lot of conversation around those national duels. And why would you do that when you already are wrestling Penn State, the Big Ten, Oklahoma State every year? Every year we're wrestling them. And national duels, they play dirty. They play dirty. They're the money behind it. Flew to Iowa City. I talked to him. Smart guy, awesome, and there's $1 million purse. And it keeps getting higher. And then the profits are going to be put back into the purse for next year. So that's unprecedented in the sport of wrestling. $1 million purse that's going to get bigger every year if they make money. This guy's a smart guy. He's selling the rights. He's selling it to ESPN. He's going to sell a lot of hot dogs down there in Oklahoma, in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Next year the purse could be 1.5. It's $200,000 to win. So those are the two things that it's like constant conversation with fans and donors, and so that's my opening statement. Nelly, you got 2 cameras working. That's pretty cool.
From an outside perspective, it seems like the past 12 months were kind of a roller coaster for a guy like Gabe Arnold. Just curious, from your perspective, what was it like to watch him and coach him for that period of time, and what do you want to see from him this season so that he can be the best version of himself, both on and off the mat?
I'm going to pick at your question a little bit. A guy like Gabe Arnold or Gabe Arnold?
Gabe Arnold specifically.
All right.
Thank you.
Gabe Arnold is a competitor. He wants to win. He takes losing very hard. And in the off season, he had to deal with a season that he did not want to necessarily come to terms with. We all go through that. And, he left the team. But I don't even think he officially left the team, because I think the paperwork wasn't even done by the time he came back. So whether he left the team or not, the love is still there for him. What have we done in the off season? What has he done? You gotta just be steadier, and it's not gonna be easy, but the formula is simple. You gotta take care of yourself, you gotta be accountable, you gotta address the things that you have to address in a mature fashion, and we're gonna need Gabe Arnold. We're gonna need him. We're gonna need 32 out of 32 on that roster. We're gonna need them all. We got a roster that got shaved down, and we're gonna need them all. And Gabe Arnold, essential.
Talked about using, the 5 dates with your true freshmen. What have you seen from that incoming class that makes you, already know that you want to use those guys this year?
Serious about the sport, wanted to move here, before they got out of high school, which, you can't do that. Love Iowa City, love the University of Iowa, love their teammates, love their experience when they were being recruited. And then they get here, and a lot of times that stuff wears off. Hasn't worn off, a couple of those guys. and that's important. And they know that they got work to do, and they come to the practices, they come to their workouts, focused, and they're getting better every day.
Be the final ride for Drake Ayala. What have you liked so much about his
No
journey?
Break Drake from Dirty Dodge. I've been waiting for his name to come up. No Break Drake Ayala from Dirty Dodge.
What have you liked about his journey from the time that he got here to where he is now? Because it feels like he's a
always been
leader.
serious
type.
about the sport of wrestling. He's always wanted to win. He was a winner coming in. He was a winner when he got here. He's still a winner. I did an interview with Andy Hamilton on Flow Wrestling a little while ago. We talked about Drake Ayala. He's been close twice. It sucks the first time. It really sucks the second time. He's addressing the things that he needs to address in a mature, professional way, and you can't say anything better about how he is taking care of himself. Number one, and number one, right alongside that, making sure that he's holding those around him accountable as well. There's not a lot of wiggle room with him as a leader, and you don't always have that in your roster. You don't always have that. And what I mean by wiggle room is he's going to pinch you if you're not doing what you need to be doing. So an extension of the coaching staff. Very mature. I can't say enough good about him.
Is that something?
We got to win, though. We got to win. Is that too much pressure? We got to win.
That leadership, is that something that's developed, or is that something you kind of talked to him
I
about?
think it's something that's innate in him. He's a winner coming in this program. He was a winner in Dirty Dodge. He's been a winner his whole life, how he's raised. He's mature. That's something that he's grown, of course, but he's our best recruiter. He's been our best recruiter since the day he walked on campus. He's been I'll say it. He's been, there's been violations of programs trying to pull him away. And he stood strong and he stood fast through it all.
There's a lot of parallels between him and Corey Clark's career here at Iowa. I'm wondering, is that a name you bring up to him at all coming into this senior season, hoping to get over the hump as a senior?
Yeah, parallels, mostly Iowa, born and bred, weight class, little bit different in the history of what they've gone through, the adversity stuff. The way, how close they were as underclassmen. So there is a lot of similarities there, but they are two different people as well. Drake Ayala and Corey Clark are both on the extreme end of being a competitor. Corey Clark was a quirky guy, one of my favorites of all time. Drake Ayala, he's got his shit together, academically, accountability-wise, leadership-wise. Corey Clark was a quirky, fun guy, but that's where they're a little bit of difference there.
Two guys in this Sear Bailey and Jordan Williams, they obviously come in together from Little Rock. What have you liked about those two guys, especially since it seems like they are close friends from what we've seen just on social media from those two, and what have they kind of brought?
Anytime you go to the portal, there's a reason why you do it, and when you end up with guys from the portal, you feel good about it, and there's an instant excitement. And I also alluded to this a couple weeks ago or a week ago, where it has to be exciting every day, and you have to come to work every day. Why did you come to the University of Iowa? Why did you leave your previous institution? And so it can never be old hat here. It can never be old hat. You can never lose the excitement of why you left, where you left to come here, to Wrestletown, USA. Why did you do that? And remind yourself of every day and go to work in that fashion every day. And Nasir Bailey is a serious guy, and he does that. And Jordan Williams, need him to continue to doing that. We need him to keep and continue to do that. Great additions to our program.
What are your thoughts on the transfer portal right now at this stage?
We're gonna recruit the transfer portal. Those rules are gonna be here. We're gonna recruit the transfer portal.
What have you seen with Masoma coming from Wartburg? How has his skills as a national champion at Division III translated in practice so far? What are you expecting
Good question. Translating skills. This is big boy now. Not saying that his accomplishments are little boy, but he has, you alluded to his skill level. He's tremendously athletic. He's tremendously gifted in a lot of things that he does very, very well on the mat. And I think that he knows that he has to up it. We're going to need him, and he has the ability. We love that addition. We love it. He's also a portal kid.
So just to follow up on Jordan, he had an off the mat incident in June. Is he going to have to miss any time for that, or is that just something you guys have handled internally and have moved on from?
Am I going to answer that? Nellie, am I going to answer that question? Come on. Been put to rest a long time ago. Come on. Our administration and myself talk every day about this program. It's no different than the men's basketball coach, the women's basketball coach, Kirk Ferentz. It's no different than how Rick Heller runs his program. We are in direct communication with our fourth floor administration. That was handled and put to rest a long time ago. You besmirched his name, and I'm going to defend him.
Coach, after a strong offseason of development, what's your message to the team and to the fan base as the season begins?
I mean, I've been talking for however many minutes now, and we are excited. There's a lot of dialogue about who's going to be at what weight, and it is upon us. The time is upon us. I'm as excited as anybody to see who's going to grab the spot and run with it. That's the message, and then our schedule. Why would you go to the national duels when you wrestle Penn State, Oklahoma State, and you go through the Big Ten every year? Why would you do that? You wrestle Iowa State every year. Why would you do that? Well, there's $1 million purse, and it's unprecedented in wrestling. So we added to an already the toughest schedule in college Division I wrestling. And, if I had to have an opinion on that, I would say we got to find a better time probably for it. Not this year, but in the future. But that's a repeat of my opening statement. So that's my message. That's my message. The questions that I've been getting from casual fans, enemy fans, top committed donors, are all about who's going to be at what, who's going to be your 25 pounder, who's going to be at 41, and we're going to find out real quick. How's that?
How do you prepare a guy like Drake who has been to 2 national finals? Does anything change in those off seasons? What gets tweaked for a guy like that to kind of get over that hump?
You address the things that he's fallen short in a very serious manner and in a very consistent manner. And he's done that. He's doing that. He will continue to do that.
As a brother yourself, what do you make of the Voinovich brothers competing at 149?
I would say they're at different weights. So one will be at 57. I mean, certification-wise, that may, whatever. But they remind me of, you said the brother thing. I mean, they like to, they like, yeah. They like to poke each other in the eye and, give a little jab here. They're brothers. So sometimes we got to separate them in a healthy way. They live together. So they're awesome now.
2 more.
A guy like
Patrick Kennedy has made some big strides last season. How has he kind of built on that from there, kind of coming into this year?
Patrick, like Keeter hasn't been mentioned. Patrick Kennedy hasn't been mentioned. Angelo Ferrari. These guys are serious about winning in the sport of wrestling. They're serious about the contributions that they're going to make to a team. I know that this is an individual sport, and I know that individual accolades are most important. That's how you put a good team on the mat. But I also know that these guys are very, very invested in each other or throughout the roster. And so, Caliendo hasn't been mentioned. We talked a lot about Drake Ayala. We mentioned Bailey, but those other 3 All-Americans, you know, Caliendo, Keeter, and Kennedy, they're the same. I mean, they're our best recruiters. They're the best teammates. They're bringing Angelo Ferrari. He's bringing guys along. They spend time after workout with younger guys and mentor them the right way. I mean, we have great character on this team, and they're pretty doggone good students too. And so, you know, we just got a good thing going. But you know, you can have great character and be a great student, but you still got to win. And that's the simple part. You know, it's not easy to do, but you just got to win. It's freaking easy, man.
So a guy like
It's not easy though. It's simple. It's just simple. Not easy, but it's simple. The formula is simple. W-I-N. Win.
so a guy
Is that
like,
the second one?
or sorry, a guy like
No, but he kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
sorry, I wasn't trying to. I
You
apologize.
bring up
but
Jordan Williams in June.
I
I mean,
apologize.
this is friggin' October.
I understand. Now, just with a guy like Dean, he wrestles with, I feel like, a lot of moxie or swagger or passion. Is that something you've seen from him since he's
And Dean?
arrived?
Did you say
Or Dean Peterson.
Dean
excuse me.
Peterson,
Yeah.
absolutely. Good observation. And I said in the Flow Wrestling interview, he intrigues me. And Andy Hamilton wanted to know what I mean by that, and I just mean that he intrigues me. And then if I, you know, you know, and I thought maybe you might have said and Dean he also intrigues me. Super potential. And we're going to need both those guys. We're going to need them both. Thank you. Enjoy our roster. Thank you.